Hey, it's Chris Cashman. I'll tell you what, if you missed tonight's evening magazine, you will regret it forever. I'm not being too dramatic. Okay, I'm just trolling you. Come on, that's a tease. Let's get into it tonight on Evening Magazine.
The Seattle Seawolves rugby family giving gifts to kids with cancer.
And they're the real warriors and the tough ones.
The new Seattle Deli bringing East Coast-style sandwiches to the Northwest. No, this isn't Middle Earth, where you can stay in a hobbit hole getaway.
And welcome officially to Eagle Harbor here on beautiful Bainbridge Island. Bainbridge named after Commodore William Bainbridge in 1841. According to legend, he never came or set foot on Bainbridge Island, but that's all right. He had an impressive naval career, so it is named in his honor. We're excited to be here today. Speaking of impressive people, you know, your Seattle Seawolves, they don't get their season going until the spring, but one of the players is busy wrapping up presents alongside his wife for kids who certainly deserve some joy.
And here's your chance, looking for that line.
Dan Creel makes an impact as a center for the Seattle Seawolves rugby team.
To Dan Creel, and Creel will reel in the opening try.
But when he's off the pitch, he's making an impact with a closet full of toys.
What do you think about this one?
Toys that get wrapped up and given away in a happy bundle. A personalized gift box for a child with cancer.
Who doesn't love getting a present, you know?
In 2020, at just 33 years old, Dan's wife Candace was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer after a double mastectomy.
I got this delivery on the doorstep. It was this big, beautiful gift basket, and it had, you know, chocolates and flowers and cards and pajamas, and it really brought me so much joy opening it up that I thought, oh, you know, I really want to give back. And I thought, wow, if I'm feeling so happy, imagine what a child must feel like. And so the very next day, we started Happy Bundles.
Yeah, I think it was during your chemotherapy where we saw the other children in the hospital I think it was like cancer. It was just a moment where we knew we could, you know, make a big difference in the world.
This has been a family affair from the beginning.
Ollie was our first boy that we sent a bundle to.
Yes, that's right.
Today, their kids' crews in summer help pack the gift boxes at Happy Bundles HQ, their home in Seattle. They send out 2 or 3 a day, and the Creels often get a gift in return.
Those are our favorite moments, when a family member sends us a photo of them receiving the bundle.
More than 700 bundles have generated just as many smiles.
So sweet.
And this rugby family recognizes courage when they see it.
That's the beauty of it. I think everyone sees contact sports and, you know, thinks of these athletes being so tough and so, you know, fearless and untouchable. But then you see these kids that are battling cancer, and you know, they're the real ones going through a tough journey. They're the real warriors and the tough ones.
Every single day we get to send out these bundles and bring a lot of happiness and joy to these children who really just deserve the world.
Happy Bundles will have a little get-together on September 11th, a fundraiser headed by Seahawks legend Lofa Tatupu. And yes, they can use some volunteers. They can also use some donations. Consider getting involved in that one. All right, there's a lot of beautiful spots to visit here on Bainbridge Island, but there's only one spot ranked as one of the best public gardens in all of the world.
We call this place a sort of a secret gem. We are actually one of the 10 best and most renowned public gardens in the United States. Bloedel Reserve opened to the public in the late 80s. It was a private residence, a private estate, and the Prentice and Virginia Bloedel lived here with their children for 30 years. He hired different landscape architects and landscape designers to help him and his wife sculpt this land, which is 140 acres of native forest here on Bainbridge Island, into a curated series of gardens that flow through the property. The residence was built in the early 1930s. It's a French colonial design. Currently, the downstairs of the residence is open to the public. When you visit the reserve, you'll experience an incredible layering of native forest and cultivated gardens. The beauty of that is you're able to more deeply understand the Pacific Northwest and its plantings, as well as see some extremely exotic species. The moss garden is one of very few completely devoted to the species of mosses. And so our moss garden was cultivated from scratch out of the native forest by planting thousands of Irish moss plugs. We have hundreds of other species of moss there, and we carefully weed and cultivate that area to remove any other types of plantings that might interfere with the moss. So you're left with this very, almost a Jurassic quality of passing through very aged woods and moss-covered stones and logs. It's a very peaceful area. The Japanese garden is modeled after a traditional Japanese strolling garden. There's a pond, there's a sand and stone garden, and the structure there, which we call the Japanese guest house, was originally the Bloedel's guest house for their friends when they came to visit, and the sand and stone garden was originally a swimming pool. The reflection pool is probably the most formal of our gardens here at the reserve. It was designed to feel like you're in a room. So it's a long rectangular space that's surrounded by a very formal yew hedge. And then the pool itself reflects the sky. Visitors are completely awed by Bloedel Reserve. Something happens between the time where they arrive, pass through all these beautiful landscapes. It's a rarity to have this amount of land, 140 acres, reserved and set aside for anybody to come visit.
So gorgeous. The reserve is open year-round, and they do timed entry tickets, so it never feels that crowded. Come check out our beautiful Bloedel Reserve right here on Bainbridge Island. Meanwhile, across the water, our waterfront has sure changed a lot in Seattle. In fact, they wrote a book about the history of Seattle's waterfront. Here's Saint.
This is Seattle's newest front porch, 20 acres of reclaimed waterfront, where the shoreline laps against the city in the most playful way yet.
It's amazing. It's just absolutely beautiful, and it's very meaningful.
Jennifer Ott, the executive director of History Link, has written the book on Seattle's waterfront. Where the city meets the sound begins with the Ice Age, when a sheet of ice 5 times taller than the Space Needle eventually left behind steep hills tumbling down to a deep natural harbor. For thousands of years, this was a gathering place for native people, but by the 1850s, drawn by an abundance of natural resources, new people arrived.
I think it's amazing that the first non-native settlers had the imagination to say this could be a city, because the steep hills, all of the challenges of this place would have discouraged me.
Seattle would struggle with its identity, banning native people, the Chinese, marching Japanese Americans from Coleman Dock to incarceration camps during World War II.
We need people in order to help us build and maintain our city, but at the same time there is a segment of the community that really wants to push anybody that's not white out.
Waterfront is also a place for dreamers. 1897 brought the Klondike Gold Rush, and the city exploded.
It's just boom, it's crazy.
And then there was Ivor Haglund, who turned the working waterfront into a tourist attraction.
He was just such a showman, and he just knew how to grab people's attention.
He staged fights with an octopus and pushed seals around in a baby carriage. At Pier 56, Ted Griffin notoriously put on shows with Namu, an orca whale he captured.
And it was a cultural phenomenon. There had not been orcas in captivity.
By the 60s, the waterfront was Seattle's back alley, home to a noisy concrete viaduct that cut the city off from its shore. It wasn't until an earthquake hit in 2001 that the city replaced the eyesore with a $3 billion tunnel.
We definitely have a front porch again. It's even better than I thought it was going to be. It's even more welcoming.
Once again, the Seattle waterfront is a place for people to gather.
And that's been the history of the waterfront for thousands of years.
The Style Points awarded to Jennifer Ott. Check out her new book, Where the City Meets the Sound, the story of Seattle's waterfront. Support a local author. Educate yourself while you're at it. Still to come on Evening Magazine.
Get a taste of the new Seattle Deli everyone's talking about. And a Woodland Park Zoo sloth update. Love is in the air. King 5 is the official broadcaster of the Seattle Seawolves.
And welcome back to Evening Magazine from Bainbridge Island, home to Sakai Park. We are here in honor of the family. They were strawberry farmers. They lived right here, and some important heritage on this property. I hope you will come, reflect, soak it in, and say hi to Paya the Peacekeeper, one of our trolls. She lives right here. Meanwhile, back in the Emerald City in Seattle's original neighborhood, Pioneer Square, there is a new sandwich spot that everybody's talking about. Jose's always hungry, so we sent him with Kelly Hansen from New Day Northwest for a taste test.
We're in Pioneer Square inside of Europa, where we own Louie's Deli.
We lived in New York for a decade. Chris worked at a lot of really great pizza places, but we obviously enjoy sandwiches, local bodegas that we went to, so we thought Seattle was kind of missing just like a neighborhood joint where regulars could come every day and just like grab food that's reliable.
Louie's Deli has only been around since May, but they already have a loyal following. Pro tip, you need to come early because the favorites do sell out. And it might have something to do with their homemade bread, a classic sesame roll.
We've been working on the bread. My buddy Matt Jones and I worked on it for like a year out of Jupiter just for the art walks. Yeah, I get here at 4 a.m. every day and bake it.
And if you are wondering what type of sandwiches they do here,
classic turkey, bacon. We got an Italian combo, meatball, bacon, egg, and cheese.
Probably the most special is the vegan sandwich.
Small menu, but won't disappoint you. What about the name of this place? Where it came from?
Our daughter is here today. Our name, Louie's Deli, is kind of inspired by her. That's why you see like a baby riding a sandwich. You'll see like little nods to our child. She loves, she loves to play pinball. So I really want to start a toddler pinball league, which I think would be so fun.
Are you gonna eat a sandwich today?
Yeah.
You are? All right, here we go.
Make me one?
I can make you a sandwich, yeah.
Just in pieces.
Just in pieces,
Okay.
deal.
Kelly, what do you got?
I feel like it's like an ASMR moment right there. The BEC, just bacon, eggs, and cheese. Exactly what it sounds like. Breakfast.
I got not so breakfast, more like lunch. It's called El Italiano.
Ooh, the Italian. And this is a pro tip. When they have it, you get some chips with your sandwich. So those are on the house.
So chips are in the house.
Here we go. Let's dive in, my friend.
Even
Taste
the paper
test.
looks so cool.
I know.
Yeah.
This is a vibe. Do you feel like you're in New York?
I feel kind of.
You're like, no. That's a 12 out of 10 for sure. Eggy. That looks fire. Is it good?
And I don't even eat bread.
What? He's so healthy. I'm a walking carb, and it shows. The red onion, the lettuce, that looks so bomb. I love an Italian. Are you so happy?
I'm so happy that you ate half of my sandwich.
Yum, you made me and Paya hungry. You want one of those sandwiches, handmade rolls? You got to get to Louie's early because they can and will sell out. It is exciting times at Woodland Park Zoo. You know, just a year ago, something that had not happened in 5 years, they welcomed in a sloth, Fezzik. Yes, named after the favorite Princess Bride character. And ever since Fezzik showed up, he's taught us all how to slow down and savor life.
Can you see him? If you stand right here, right at my height, just scoot over.
Where are we seeing here?
Forget Where's Waldo. Find Fezzik.
Sloths are my favorite. And look, can you see it?
That's crazy.
So, big green leaves.
They say patience is a virtue, and when it comes to anything sloth-related,
It's been a while since we've had two-toed sloths here.
progress happens very slowly.
He's a Hoffman's two-toed sloth. They're found in South America. And Fezzik is about 10 years old, and he's nocturnal. So during the day, he's hiding out where nobody can really see him.
Hard to be the life of the party when you sleep all day.
That is amazing!
But Fezzik is much more versatile than you might think.
I think one of the most surprising things about a sloth is they can actually move very quickly when they want to.
And yes, Fezzik is named after the beloved character from The Princess Bride.
It's very, very short on time.
Fezzik's diet is fit for a farmer's market.
Romaine lettuce, red leaf lettuce, yams, squash, broccoli. Right now, he's kind of just eating everything that's in the dome, too. So he's really living his best life in there.
And I have some non-urgent breaking sloth news for you. Jessie, a female two-toed sloth, just joined Fezzik last week. The folks at Woodland Park Zoo are hoping to pair the breeds. Right now, Jessie and Fezzik are slowly, very slowly being introduced to each other. And that's smart. Never rush a sloth. Can you rush a sloth? I'll ponder that. Still to come on Evening Magazine.
Soft serve with a cultured kick at Pike Place Market.
What we do special here is we make it in the machine right in front of people.
Evening Magazine is made possible with support from Kitsap Credit Union. Since 1934, Kitsap Credit Union has believed that together it's possible. Together, we shine a light on the people and places that help our communities thrive.
Welcome back to Evening Magazine from beautiful Bainbridge Island, home to Sakai Park, former Strawberry Farm, now home to Paya the Peacekeeper. Come see one of our beloved trolls. She's here full time. Meanwhile, back on the mainland, we're going to get a taste of the traditions of Greece. Yes, the family that brought us Elenos yogurt is making cultured soft serve ice cream at Pike Place Market.
In Seattle's oldest market,
And one for you as well.
something smooth is being served.
We're at Pike Place Market, and our place is called Hellenica Cultured Creamery.
My brother and my father started Eleanor's down in the market about 10 years ago. They make yogurt there. Right now we're making a cultured gelato. Cultured gelato is a gelato base with a blend of cultures in it. Similar blend of cultures to yogurt, but different.
Each culture has its own unique taste, so when you blend them all, each has like its own little characteristic.
The cultures Hellenica uses are more understated than those used in traditional yogurt. That means the tangy taste is less intense and more flavorful.
What we do special here is we make it in the machine right in front of people and serve the gelato straight out of the machine, as fresh as it can get. Right here on the front case, we do 11 different flavors. They're constantly swapping out new flavors. Our most popular flavor is our ube coconut. So ube is a purple yam that comes from the Philippines. It's got a really great blend of sweetness and earthiness, and I mix that with some coconut.
It's not your common ice cream shop flavors. Some we try to really push the boundaries of what could be a frozen dessert.
And so far, people are liking where Hellenica Cultured Creamery are taking them.
The reception we've gotten from the public is really, really heartwarming. A lot of return customers saying that they love the product.
The Greek influence is also the family influence. So when you come to a Greek place, you're encouraged to eat and leave full. So we want people to come in, try as much as they can, and maybe experience something that they wouldn't have anywhere else.
Open 7 days a week, and you can actually find their cultured gelato at some area grocery stores like Town & Country right here on Bainbridge Island.
When evening returns, the Bainbridge Island Hobbit House that can be yours for a weekend. Now in our 40th season, Evening Magazine shares local stories that make our community shine. Evening Magazine is sponsored by Pemco Insurance. Pemco empowers the Northwest to prevent the preventable. Learn how at pemco.com.
Welcome back to Evening Magazine from Eagle Harbor here on Bainbridge Island. This is a great weekend spot. When's the last time you visited? Come stay for a night or two. In fact, when you do that, you've got a lot of great options to stay on the island, but only one will let you stay over in Middle Earth.
When Rose Linford Combs was 11, she wanted her own Hobbit house.
So I told her, you dig the hole, I'll build it.
Rose and her friends dug that hole. Her grandfather Jazz set about bringing the fantasy to life.
I had to go back and watch a lot of Hobbit movies and stills and stuff. 90% of the material was scrounge. We had to buy one sheet of plywood and a couple other pieces.
The structure is nestled into a hillside, which provides natural insulation.
In the summertime, it's cool. In the wintertime, it's warm.
This Hobbit house turned vacation rental helped pay for Rose's college tuition by hosting visitors to Middle Earth.
Actual hobbits no, but people come in costume all the time. We get them from all over.
The guests are smitten.
99.9% positive.
What's not to love? This cozy glamping experience comfortably sleeps two. Full-size humans. Many visitors leave original artwork.
Some of it pretty nice. Some of it's...
The Bainbridge Island Hobbit House actually won Best Quirky Getaway in our 2022 Best Northwest Escapes contest.
No prize money though, right?
Their prize, a vast sum of Hobbit dollars.
You put them in your hand, they disappear.
How cool. You can find the Bainbridge Island Hobbit House on Airbnb. Be advised, it is BYOB. Bring your own bare feet, because, you know, gotta live it. Thanks to Bainbridge Island for hosting us tonight. All of Bainbridge Island, thank you for making it the perfect evening. I'll be taking attendance next show. See ya.